about JFK's speech in Berlin. But before we actually get to the speech, we have to tell you why he made the speech. So, this is Nikita Khrushchev's. He is the Soviet premier, and he made a speech on November 10th, 1958, and he addressed all the Western powers, which was the United States, Great Britain, and France, to pull out of West Berlin within 6 months, because that was when West Berlin and East Berlin were separated.
And then the president, which was Dwight Eisenhower at the time, and how do you say his name? Khrushchev, met in Geneva and later at Camp David in 1959 to talk about a compromise for West Berlin. And then in 1960, an American E-2 spy plane was shot down by the Soviets, which caused even more turbulence.
So then in 1960 was the presidential elections, and it was Dwight D. Eisenhower and John F. Kennedy. And John F. Kennedy became the 35th president of the United States. And he was elected into office on November 8th, 1960. And that's him giving his inaugural address.
In the summer of 1961, Kennedy and Khrushchev met up, and they still didn't find a solution, compromise, and they met up in Vienna during a summit.
And then that is Khrushchev and President Kennedy. And the second warning came after Kennedy and Khrushchev met up, and again, Khrushchev told the United States that they had 6 months to pull out of West Berlin. However, much like Dwight D. Eisenhower, President Kennedy was not going to pull out.
On August 13th, 1961, the first part of the wall went up.
And then June 26, 1963 was JFK's speech. So he arrived in Berlin, and this is a picture of him arriving in West Berlin, and all the people were really excited to see him. And this is also him entering West Berlin. Everyone was really excited to see him. And it was an estimated 450,000 people that attended the speech.
Kennedy gave 2 speeches, one in a town square and another at a university. The first draft of his speech did not include any German, but JFK, he wrote some and he added them, and the one that most people remember is Ich bin ein Berliner, which some people think means I'm a jelly donut, or as he meant, I'm a Berliner.
So, as Morgan just said, Ich bin ein Berliner is the famous quote that was said by Kennedy before he began his speech. And then we're going to watch a video of Kennedy's speech. So let's see how this will do this. Yes? Hold on, I got to fast forward through all of them. Okay. So as you can tell, they're all really excited. Kennedy was greeted with torn paper, flowers, and rice.
I am proud to come to this city as the guest of your distinguished mayor, who has symbolized throughout the world the fighting spirit of West Berlin. And I am proud to visit the Federal Republic with your distinguished Chancellor, who for so many years has committed Germany to democracy and freedom and progress. I'm here in the company of my fellow American, General Clay, who has been in this city during its great moments of crisis and will come again if ever needed.
So JFK is showing that the United States will be there for West Berlin, and that was something that was really important to them at the time.
2,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago, the Travis Post was Civis Romanus Sum. Today, in the world of freedom, the proudest post is Ich bin ein Berliner.
That's that. You said Ich bin ein Berliner. So, after Kennedy's death in November 1963, what day was it? November 10th?
November 22nd.
November 22nd, 1963, Kennedy was assassinated in Dallas, Texas. And back in West Berlin, they renamed the square after him, so now it's called John F. Kennedy Platz. And our class activity, while we pass out the jelly donuts, is for you to pretend you're John F. Kennedy and have been asked to make a speech to West Berliners in 1963. Write one sentence showing the West Berliners that you were there for them, that you are one of them. And the phrase must be in German, and feel free to use Leo, and we'll share with the class in a minute.